Hello everyone, my name is Arun and welcome to my channel. This series is season tutorials on C programming, and in this tutorial we will be looking at the operator precedence. Now before we go into the topic, I would like to mention you one thing. Unlike the previous programs where cases videos wherein we wrote the entire program in code blocks, from this video onwards we will be jumping into work with Genie. The reason is as follows. While CodeBlocks is a very good editor, no question about it. Okay, the one disadvantage with CodeBlocks is that if you want to compile the programs as per your choice and have custom compilation, meaning you want to compile them and make the object files as per your choice with the kind of custom compiler flags as per your choice and all, you will not be able to do it. And if you want to get a little more full hands-on control as to what's happening with the compilation and linking the files and variables and all, if you want that kind of a power with you, you need you need a less you need a slightly different editor which does not allow you that which lets you to be more hands-on into the program and the compilation. Genie helps you to do that. The reason is because it by default it also has its compile, build and execute features available, and also it has a terminal feature available, and through which you can compile the code and run it directly like that. Okay, as per your choice. Now to make the transition easier, the first few videos will be using the basic compile, build and execute options that are available in Genie, and in the future videos, after for 3 to 4 videos, let's say, we'll be starting to write our own. We'll compile and build the how do I say? I'll compile and build these C programs manually. Okay, thereby we'll get more familiarity with it. Okay, so with that being said, we'll start with today's topic, and today's topic is actually operator precedence. Now, this operator precedence is of major importance, especially if you're dealing with a lot of variables. Let's say if I were to create an expression, a complicated expression. For instance, let int a equals 5. A equals 5. By the way, I can write like this. It's not a problem. Okay, b equals 6, c equals 7, d equals 8. Okay, I'm just creating 4 dummy variables over here, and then int ans for answer. And now here's my question. Suppose if I write ans equals a star b divided by c plus d. Okay, and I printf answer. So to print answer, I'll type answer equals percentage I or percentage d. Okay, so all of this is okay, that will do. Let's say not I. Okay, instead of this I'll put a minus sign. I'll tell you the reason why. Okay, you put answer like this. What would be the value of this answer, by the way? Okay, you can run this to see for yourself, but before you do that, I like to suggest you to take a piece of paper, plug in these values, and proceed and try to get the answer for yourself. Okay, now it's like this. How does this operation actually takes place? This could be really confusing. Okay, now let's run this first. To compile this, you just have to press this compile button, and then you build this, and then there's this executable button over here which is F5, and you run this, you'll get the answer, and the answer here it says is 31. Okay, the answer here is 31. Okay, now let's see how it got. Now before we get this answer, let's look about it. How does these operators behave with each other? That's something you have to look into it a little closely. Now if you see, does this happen first or does this happen first? There can be multiple ways. One might say that a and b must be multiplied first, and then c will be subtracted from a star b, and then d will be added to it. Or the other way to look about it is that c and d will be added together, and that value will be subtracted from b, and then the entire result will be multiplied by a. I'm just saying it's totally possible because the interpretation is pretty vague over here. Another possible way is that b and c can be b and c will be subtracted. Okay, so c will be subtracted from b, and that result will be multiplied by a, and then you can add d to it. Okay, all these permutations and combinations are possible. Okay, but here comes the problem. If given an expression like this, which is the correct answer to should I go about with? Well, there can be many, but there shouldn't be many, isn't it, to avoid confusion. So that's where the operator precedence comes in. What it actually in simple terms means is that if you have a series of, if you have large number of operators present in an expression like this, and they're acting together on an expression like this, okay, which operator should have the higher precedence, and which operator should act first and which operator should act second, and all that kind of ranking, okay, or precedence or preference is actually determined by operator precedence. It in this kind of a statement like this, it just tells which operation should be done first before and which statement should be done next, and so on and so forth. Okay, so operator precedence in simple terms is operator precedence tells which operation should happen first. That's all it says. Okay, if there is an expression, let's say there are multiple operations acting upon the data and variables, it will operator precedence say which has to happen first. So a simple way to remember is there's this mnemonic called as PEMDAS. Okay, in full form it is called as parenthesis exponent multiplication. Let's see, I forgot a comma over here. Multiplication, and then division, addition, and subtraction. Okay, this is the rule they follow over here. Okay, meaning if you have an expression like this, the sub expression which are included in parentheses, they get the first preference. Okay, after that the expressions which have an exponent or any power symbol, okay, they will get the second preference. Likewise, afterwards it's going to be the multiplication operator that will get the next preference, and then you'll get division as the next preference, and then addition, and then subtraction. So this is the order they follow. One way to remember this in a funny way is actually given by this mnemonic, or whichever you may call it. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, this is one way to remember this. Please as in parenthesis, excuse as in exponent, my as in multiplication, dear as in division, aunt as in addition, and Sally as in subtraction. So if you take the first letters out of this statement, it will be PEMDAS. Okay, that's a simpler way. That's a simple way to remember this. Okay, now if we apply this, okay, this expression becomes easy. Now with this rule keeping into picture, the ambiguity in these kind of expressions will be avoided instantly. So let's look at this. There are three operations over here: multiplication, subtraction, and addition. So let's look at this first. Since as per this PEMDAS rule we have over here, the one that comes in front of it is multiplication. Parenthesis and exponent are not there, so multiplication comes first in this order. So a and b will be multiplied together. So if we multiply a and b together, a and b multiplied by together, what will I get? I get 5. So let me write this down. Okay, so ans will be equal to 5 times 6 minus 7 plus 8. Okay, and now because of multiplication taking preference, you prefer multiplication first. Multiply. So as a consequence, the answer will become 5 times 6 is 30. So 30 minus 7 plus 8. Okay, now let's look at the next preference. Now multiplication is gone, and with the remaining thing, addition takes the next preference over here. So these two will be added together. Okay, so if we do that, the next preference is add, sorry, add. Okay, so the answer is this 30 will remain as it is, so this will be plus 1. Okay, and then finally this is the only operator that's pending, so there's no operator preference problem over here. So the final thing is answer will be equal to 31. So this is the step-by-step breakdown of this expression operation over here. Please remember this carefully, because this could be really confusing if you do not understand this. If you go into the future tutorials wherein we'll be looking at the complicated expressions and all, if you do not understand the PEMDAS rule, it can be a little hard to follow as to how this is happening. Okay, and in generally, if you want to write a code, if you want to write an expression like this is definitely, usually not recommended, because this can be totally ambiguous. Okay, even without the PEMDAS rule, if you want to write a statement like this, you're not recommended to write like this. So the best way to write this statement is as follows. Instead of writing like this, I'm just going to comment this out over here, but I'm going to the best way to write like this is using the parenthesis. So a star b, okay, you put an a star b and then minus c plus d. Okay, you can write like this with a little bit of spacing. So this is actually a much let's say preferred way. This is actually a much preferred way of writing this expression, because this will avoid any ambiguity. Now because of this parenthesis, it's kind of like a natural intuition that whatever written inside this parenthesis has to be done first before doing outside. So this becomes easier. This becomes much more of preferred intuition to look at it. So although this will be perfectly valid, okay, if you write like this, if the chances for any ambiguity, regardless of the precedence with which the symbols have to take place, will be avoided. Okay, so this is actually a much better way to look about with it. Okay, now that's all I have for you guys in this video. That's all. Thank you guys for watching. And now in the next video, we will be looking at what you call as the data overflow or underflow that happens in the integers and floats. Okay, that's all I have for you guys in this video. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.